And we trade with people all over the world to gain more value. Then every component of every components in this, I would actually rather start from the other way.
Okay.
Because then you as a byproduct, you can see what inflation really is, because these terms are all a construct from the existing system.
Okay.
So if you start from a first principle, and you say, instead of technology being deflationary, if you just start with the natural state of the free market is deflation. And you know how you just nodded your head? And it's funny, everybody knows that to be true, even though they can't explain it very well.
Yeah.
And the nod of your head is actually, you feel that that's true. And why would that be true? The natural state of the free market is deflation. So let's dig into that deeper. Primarily because of this. Every single thing that an entrepreneur creates to create more value is competing against something that was there before and people were using. And if they don't create more value, they fail. And if they create more value, we use the thing that creates more value. And the output of that is some of the other's business is impaired and the new business grows. And the output of that is prices fall.
Okay.
Right. And that's been the process throughout time, as we essentially, and because what ends up happening in the free market is the scarce thing or the thing that drives more margin creates more opportunities for entrepreneurs to attack that scarce thing and provide more value. So it's a natural phenomenon. And we trade with people all over the world to gain more value. Then every component of every components in this component, computers, components, and everything rely on that same principle to try to gain more value for ourselves. So we are part of the equation. We are a critical part of the equation that searches for more value. So you ask yourself, if the natural state of that process of us searching for more value is that prices fall, and then we create ideas like artificial intelligence or chips in computers that were made from grains of sand, right? In silicon, to be able to create new and better ways to solve scarcity. Then as we create these tools for human abundance, then deflation should be faster and faster, because the productivity growth moves faster and faster, and it should flow to all of us, every single person in humanity. 8 billion people in service of 8 billion people. That's what the world should look like, right? And so what does that mean on the surface of what I just said? So first, you could, as a first principle, you should argue what I just said. Try to poke holes in what I just said and find ways. And people will say, well, what about energy? Or what about some things that are scarce? Well, let's look at energy as something as an example. So in Bitcoin terms, energy price is falling. And there's a free market now in energy that's using Bitcoin mining to chase abundant energy, to create more energy. So as a first principle to life, we need more energy, right? And we're on top of that work of energy. And if energy prices are falling in real terms in Bitcoin, then some of the other things that we need, let's look at mining or resources that people use as examples that don't fall in price. Well, look at a mine today versus a mine 100 years ago, and how much labor is in the mine today versus the output versus 100 years ago. And the labor is way less.
Yeah.
And if you go to a mine today, most of the vehicles are automated. Most of the AI systems are moving into that. Pretty soon it'll be robotics into that. So measured in energy and output or abundance or growth, then those prices are falling as well. But we don't recognize those prices are falling, right? So we don't, because in real terms, they are falling and they will continue to fall forever. That's actually what Bitcoin is measuring. Yeah, I've always been an entrepreneur, and very rarely can an entrepreneur raise debt. Very rarely when they have an idea. Why? Because it's too much risk for debt. The
Hmm.
only money that an entrepreneur can raise for a new idea in something is somebody who believes in them in equity, that
Hmm.
their thing that they're going to build is going to create so much value for society that they're going to return more equity. So it doesn't require debt. It doesn't require, it's a false, again, it's a belief
Okay.
system that it requires that. And you know what I'm saying is true because
Hmm.
you see a lot of entrepreneurs get funding. In fact, Ego Death, what we do is we make investments. So primarily the Ego Death is in the risk-free rate of the world is 45% IRR. That's a Bitcoin return
Mm.
against the currency. And so we're making investments in entrepreneurs to beat the risk-free rate of the world by creating value for the world,
Hmm.
right? And then those entrepreneurs are building their balance sheets in Bitcoin because of the value that they're adding. So the process that I'm describing, and we have a lot of money to do that. And why do we have a lot of money to do that? Because other investors believe in our ability to do that, to be able to choose entrepreneurs and help those entrepreneurs succeed. So it doesn't require debt.